In this week's Parashah and Revi, the Torah describes the ceremony through which Aaron and his sons were consecrated as Kohanim, the Miluim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu commanded Moshe to have all of the Kohanim wear their priestly vestments, and then added, "V'hayta kuna l'chukat olam," that their priesthood, their kunam, shall be an everlasting statute. The Gemara in Zvachim and Daf Yud Zayin Amud Bet quotes this pasuk and explains that a Kohen's formal status of Kunam, priesthood, is dependent upon his wearing his bigdei Kuna, and as a result, a Kohen who is not wearing the bigdei Kuna, who is mechusar begadim, is not allowed to perform any portion of the avodah, of the service in the Beit HaMikdash. Rav Asher Weiss, in his commentary to the Chumash, reports on a startling expansion of this rule based on a Hagaot Mordechai in Gittin, 461, which tells the story of a certain Kohen who served the great Rabbeinu Tam as his attendant. Rabbeinu Tam was asked by a Talmud how he could allow a Kohen to serve him in light of the prohibition of Me'ilah against using the services of a Kohen, as reported in the Yerushalmi Brachot, the 8th chapter, the 5th halakha. Rabbeinu Tam replied that since nowadays Kohanim don't wear their bigdei kuna, they don't have the formal status of Kohanim, and thus their services can be used. The student challenged Rabbeinu Tam's response, noting that according to this logic, no laws of Kohanim should apply nowadays. A Kohen shouldn't be reciting Birkat Kohanim, should not be participating in the Pidyon HaBen, shouldn't even be able, if he could prove his status, to eat from Trumot. Why should the bigdei kuna matter so much when there is no Beit HaMikdash? Rabbeinu Tam, as reported by the Hagaot Mordechai, remained silent and didn't answer this question, but Rav Weiss does, because he explained the Rabbeinu Tam's ruling can be understood when you make a distinction between the two levels of the kedusha, of the sanctity of a Kohen, the level of distinction versus the level of sanctity. Outside the Beit HaMikdash, Kohanim enjoy a certain status of distinction, which affords them certain rights and privileges, but in the Beit HaMikdash, the Kohanim are not just distinct. They are not just special. They're also sacred. In fact, that's why our parasha relates that when Moshe consecrated the Kohanim, he sprinkled the dam, he sprinkled the blood on them and on the Mizbeach, as if they were part of the Beit HaMikdash itself. And therefore, when the student posed his question to Rabbeinu Tam and quoted from the Yerushalmi that was talking about the Kohen's status as something that is hekdesh, and using a Kohen would be a form of me'ilah, the misappropriation of hekdesh, the student was wrong in his understanding. And that's why Rabbeinu Tam responded that this dimension of the Kuna, the dimension of hekdesh, only applied in the Beit HaMikdash and only when the Kohanim were wearing their priestly garments. However, with the question of distinction, of the ability to provide the Birkat Kohanim and other such functions, that is a function that doesn't require the bigdei kuna, and therefore that can be in place, even though the kedusha of the Kohanim nowadays is not.